Lovely. So let's get to owning our thoughts. So I know
Mhm.
we talked about owning our power. So what's owning our thoughts?
Yeah, it's kind of the second step, right? I mean, the first step is just recognizing that we have all these sentences in our heads
Yeah.
and all these choices that we make in every moment. We can choose something different. From there, it's a matter of choosing what we want to believe. My client said,
Mhm.
well, I can't quit my job.
Yeah.
For her, it can be as simple as choosing the thought, I choose to show up to work every day because I want to pay my bills, or I'm lucky to have a job that pays me six figures, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Those thoughts are available to her in that moment, and they're going to make her feel very different day in and day out at her job. And so that's what I mean by it's the second step, right? Like I can make any choice I want. I'm going to choose a thought that creates a feeling for me that's really more in line with where I want to be and where I want to go next. And so we all have those thoughts available to us, but sometimes it's hard to generate energy, and it's
Yeah.
not worthwhile to choose a thought that doesn't elicit an energetic response. Like when we were talking about my clients that associate being a lawyer with I'm worthy, I'm valuable, I'm successful, I always tell them, like, you can believe that and do whatever you want to do, but
Yeah.
they don't, and they can, parade around thinking I'm worthy and I'm good enough. But if they don't believe it, it's never
Yeah.
going to elicit energy to carry them in the direction that they want. So sometimes we have to kind of take baby steps. Being a
Yeah.
lawyer isn't my identity. Maybe that's the first step that gets them closer to believing I'm good enough no matter what I do. And so it's not just about choosing thoughts, it's about choosing thoughts that elicit an emotion, right? You have
Mhm.
belief and buy in behind it, and it's an emotion that's useful for where you want to go.
Yeah. Yeah. That's an interesting way to think about. So yeah, we own the thought. So that is the control. So that leads to like your third one we're going to talk about, which is owning our happiness. So if we
Hmm.
know how to choose our thoughts, then obviously there is a way to go to the happiness. And I want to like explain to us like how we own our happiness. A lot of
Hmm.
people doesn't know that. They probably think, oh no, my when my wife gonna love me or my husband gonna love me, then I'll be happy. When I'm
That's
gonna
it.
make the X amount of money, I'll be happier. Or when my boss gonna praise me, I'm gonna be happier. But when you trying to say like we own our own happiness, what do you mean
Hmm.
by that? Do we actually control our happiness, or do you think like it is other side?
Yeah, I think, I love the examples that you gave. Like if my boss gives me feedback, if my husband loves me, or if I'm married, then I'm going to
Yeah,
be happy. And I always challenge people. I say, explain to me how that works. If your boss says you're doing a great job, what creates that happiness? Because he's not like zapping me with something that like implants that feeling in me.
yeah,
What actually happens in between those things is I agree with him. I'm doing a good job. He thinks I'm doing a good job. I'm good. I'm worthy, whatever it may
mm,
be. That thought, that's what's creating the happiness. It's
yeah,
sort of like if I'm walking down the street and a stranger says to me, I really don't like you. I'm going to be like, well, that was weird, and
yeah,
I'm going to keep on walking. It's not going to hurt my feelings. If my fiance says to me, I really don't like you, that's going to hurt because my
yeah,
thoughts are going to be, what did I do? Is he upset with me? Oh my goodness, like what's going on? And I'm going to freak out. Those thoughts are what create the negative emotion. It's not the words, because the words from the stranger had no impact on me,
yeah,
because my thoughts were that was weird. That was strange. I don't know what that's about. And I just kept on moving. So when you take that and you kind of apply it big picture, even in my own experience, I went to another firm thinking I was going to be happy and I wasn't. My clients have these amazing resumes and all these accolades, and they're not happy because
yeah,
none of those things create that for them. They get like a momentary feel good from getting the thing checked off their list, but it doesn't last because they don't have existing long-standing beliefs that create happiness for them. A lot of times when they're chasing those things, the job, the money, the marriage,
yeah,
it's because only then will they allow themselves to believe I'm good, I'm happy, I'm successful, whatever the thought may be. And then they feel happy for a minute, but it doesn't last because it's not a real thought that they're really connected with. They're tying it so closely to something that it's not a thought that they're used to practicing day in and day out. So they just look for one more thing to
Yeah.
allow them to believe that for a moment, and they just keep chasing it